rates, but clearly rates are headed down in the system. Well, what does this mean for market, banks, and in any case, what should be your position on the market from here on? Dhananjay Sinha now joins in, Head of Institutional Research at Emkay Global Financial Services. Dhananjay, good morning. First, a word on PSU banks. We have SBI in the morning coming out and cutting interest rates on fixed deposits. How would you react to that? What's your call on PSU banks?
We have been pretty cautious on the PSU banks. I think things like deposit rate cuts, etc., would not really matter too much. I think on a standalone basis, one would assume that a reduction in the deposit rate would actually help induce certain upside to the margins. But I think the important thing to notice is that reduction in the deposit rate is happening on the back of the fact that bank is not seeing enough credit growth, and the business of the bank is to actually lend. So if the lending growth is not really happening, then it is quite likely that, and we are seeing that in the numbers where credit growth as a system has actually declined to something like 10.9%, that the pressure or the benefit on the margins will not really be sustained. So I think that's an important thing, and we also have to understand that after the Q1 growth numbers that we have seen on GDP and IIP, we have seen for first month of this quarter showing a considerable decline, wherein the IIP growth was just 0.5% and export growth was just it was fairly flat, and also you're looking at the credit growth numbers. So I would say that some of these numbers would also have certain implications for the asset quality issues, which continues to be a concern for the PSU banks, and we have seen in the Q1 results that concerns were prevailing. So I guess those concerns will extend even in the Q2 numbers. So we generally maintain our stance with respect to the PSU banks, wherein our position is cautious. We have been liking within the PSU banks Bank of Baroda, and generally we have been overweight private bank, and ICICI Bank has been our favorite. So I think from a structural standpoint also, we think that the private sector banks will actually grow business much faster than the private sector space, compared to the public sector space. So I think that position will maintain.
But Dhananjay, your thoughts on the entire oil and gas space, and would you see any more incremental upside in the likes of BPCL, which has run up over 95% YTD?
Yeah, I think we have been constructive. We are rather positive on the oil segment, and we, beyond even ahead of the reduction in the global crude prices, we have said that since the government will be dependent a lot on disinvestment, and we said that disinvestments will happen mostly more proactively in the oil sector, and government will do these reforms. So I think from a reform standpoint, we said that ONGC and other OMCs will actually be doing fine. I think they're doing good. So I think that has actually panned out. I think this whole reduction in the crude oil prices has come as an additional boon, for the oil sector. So I think that position for us remains. And I think if the oil crude prices continue to remain soft, I think it will continue to add certain positivity to these companies.
Okay, well, Dhananjay, enough of oil and gas now. We've got your opinion on that as well. I'm going to quickly ask you about the mid-caps, because one of the companies that we were talking about, Anuj and myself, at the start of the show was Venus Remedies. That stock is now down 15%, and that stock had gained over 36% on a YTD basis. Would that make you a little worrisome in terms of maybe the mid-caps going ahead of their fundamentals, and there could be some more sort of accidents such as Venus which could take place?
No, of course, the market has actually run up significantly ahead of fundamentals, that I have been saying, and the thing is that people who may have actually picked up some of the mid-cap names without really having very strong fundamentals, just because there is a flavor for mid-cap companies, I think it is likely that the reoccurrence of volatility for more macro reasons that we expect, that some of these investments can actually be somewhat difficult situation for investors. See, as it is, we do expect that, you talked about Venus Remedies, that's a pharma sector stock. We are generally positive on the pharma sector stocks, and it could be specific to Venus Remedies. But generally, we think that within the pharma space, the stock should actually do well. And it is possible that there will be certain mid-cap stocks over there which can actually continue to do well. But otherwise, the whole cyclical components of the mid-cap stocks can actually be more vulnerable. Generally, we think that some of the cyclicals that the market has actually built up might actually be vulnerable. We have met several mid-cap cap goods companies recently, and we see that there is a considerable amount of paradox in terms of how the market has been viewing the investment cycle and the expectation around it, and what these companies are going through or what they're expecting. So I think obviously there will be certain amount of realignment, and that would imply higher volatility going forward.
Okay. Fair enough, Dhananjay. We leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining in. And remember that you can catch all the stock calls and the market view on moneycontrol.com/CNBC TV18.